I never thought the person who'd hurt me the most would be the one who knew me best. It's crazy, right? You grow up thinking your best friend will always have your back. That no matter what happens, heartbreak, bad decisions, life's mess, she'll be there, standing next to you. That was Chloe for me. She was my sister in everything but blood. We met in college, two broke girls chasing big dreams and bad coffee. We shared everything: clothes, secrets, late-night crying sessions about stupid men. She even helped me pick out the dress I wore on my first date with Evan. And Evan, he was perfect. At least, that's what I thought back then. He was charming, ambitious, the kind of man who made you feel like you were the only one in the room. We dated for 3 years. 3 whole years of plans, promises, and late-night talks about marriage. And through it all, Chloe was right there, smiling, supporting, saying things like, "You're so lucky, Lena. He really loves you." I used to laugh and say, "One day, you'll find someone just like him." Turns out, she took that a little too literally. It started small, little things I brushed off. She'd show up to places we were going as a couple. She'd text him funny memes, inside jokes that I wasn't part of. Once, I even caught her wearing one of my jackets that I thought I'd misplaced. But I told myself it was fine. I mean, this was Chloe, my best friend. She'd never crossed that line, right? But betrayal doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in quietly, disguised as friendship, laughter, loyalty. Until one day, the mask slips. It was a Friday night. Evan said he couldn't make our date, working late, as usual. So I decided to surprise him. I picked up his favorite food, drove to his place, and when I walked up to his door, I heard her laugh. That same laugh I'd heard 1,000 times before, warm, familiar, harmless. Except this time, it wasn't harmless at all. I didn't knock. I didn't scream. I just stood there, frozen, listening to the two people I loved most in the world betray me in the most ordinary way possible. No drama. No warning. Just silence after laughter. When I finally walked away, I left the food on the doorstep. Because honestly, I wasn't hungry anymore. The next morning, Chloe called me, pretending everything was fine. And that's when I knew she wasn't just guilty. She was a liar. Because you don't fake normal that easily unless you've already decided you don't care. I didn't confront her that day. Or the next. Instead, I let her talk. I listened to her fake sympathy, her "you deserve better" lines, while I sat there knowing the truth. And the more I listened, the calmer I got. Because anger burns hot, but betrayal freezes you. And once the ice sets in, something inside you changes forever. A few weeks later, she made it official. They were dating. Everyone acted like it was normal, like it wasn't the most disgusting thing I'd ever seen. And the worst part? She wanted my blessing. When she told me they were getting married, I didn't even blink. She said, "Lena, I hope you can be happy for me." And I said, "Of course, Chloe. Why wouldn't I be?" That was the moment she lost me as a friend. And the moment I found myself again. Because if she wanted me to play the role of the broken, jealous ex-friend, she was going to be disappointed. I wasn't going to cry at her wedding. I wasn't going to cause a scene. No, I was going to do something better. I was going to give her a wedding gift she'd never forget. What would you have done in my place? Would you have confronted her? Or stayed quiet and planned something unforgettable? Because what I did next, well, let's just say, it turned her fairy tale into a nightmare. You know what they say, time heals everything. But whoever said that clearly never had their best friend steal their boyfriend. The weeks after I found out were brutal. I didn't eat much. Didn't sleep much either. Everywhere I went, I heard her voice, her laugh, her fake concern, that perfect tone she used when she pretended she cared. And Evan? He didn't even try to explain. He just disappeared. At first, I thought I'd never recover. But then something strange happened. I started to feel clarity. Because once you've been stabbed in the back by the people closest to you, nothing else can really hurt you the same way. You stop needing closure from them, and you start creating it yourself. That's when I got the wedding invitation. Yeah. She actually sent me one. Like I was supposed to clap and smile while she walked down the aisle with the man who once promised me forever. My first instinct was to tear it up. But then, I laughed. Because in that moment, I realized something. She didn't invite me out of kindness. She invited me to prove she'd won. And if she wanted me to see her happily ever after, then sure. I'd show up. But not as the heartbroken ex-friend she remembered. No, I'd show up as the storm she never saw coming. In the weeks leading up to the wedding, I kept my distance. But karma has a funny way of delivering information when you least expect it. A mutual friend told me Evan had already been texting one of Chloe's bridesmaids behind her back. At first, I didn't believe it until I saw the screenshots myself. Same charm. Same lies. Same recycled "good morning beautiful" messages. He didn't even bother to change his style. That's when I knew exactly what my wedding gift would be. See, some people give toasters. Others give cash. But me? I give truth, wrapped neatly with a bow of poetic justice. When the big day came, I walked in looking like peace itself. And honestly, I was. Because by then, I wasn't angry anymore. I was calm. Focused. Ready. The ceremony was perfect, picture perfect, at least. She looked radiant. He looked smug. Everyone whispered about how beautiful the couple was. But all I could think was how easily appearances can lie. When it came time for speeches, the mic got passed around. Laughter, tears, cliches. And then someone handed it to me. I smiled. It was almost too easy. I congratulated them, sincerely. I said I wished them both the best. And then, I handed over my gift. It was a white silk-wrapped photo album. Simple. Elegant. Something a best friend might give, if that best friend wasn't me. I told them they should open it together, right then and there. They hesitated, but the crowd started cheering. Everyone loves a surprise, right? When Chloe flipped open the first page, the room went silent. She froze. Evan's smile faded instantly. Each page was proof, screenshots, late-night messages, photos. Every word, every emoji, every lie. All documented. All time-stamped. All real. By the time she reached the last page, she was trembling. Evan tried to snatch the album, mumbling excuses. It's not what it looks like, the classic line. But the damage was already done. People were whispering. Her parents were staring. And I just looked at him, calm as ever, and said, "Guess some habits never change." I handed the mic back, smiled, and walked out. No shouting. No drama. Just the sound of heels clicking on marble, the soundtrack of my freedom. And as I stepped outside, I realized something important. Revenge doesn't always have to be loud. Sometimes, it's quiet. Calculated. Beautiful. That night, I didn't go home to cry. I went home to peace. Because for the first time in a long time, I didn't care what they thought. They could keep their fairy tale, I was living my truth. They say revenge changes people. Maybe that's true. But for me, it didn't make me bitter. It made me stronger, smarter, free. And if you're listening to this wondering whether she deserved what happened that night, I'll let you decide. Would you have done the same thing? Would you have exposed the truth, or just walked away quietly? Let me know in the comments. Because sometimes, the best justice isn't about payback, it's about peace. And trust me, that's one wedding gift she'll never forget.